Hi fellow gamers, welcome to All About Fun and Games. I'm Jenny. For years I've been collecting board games of all types, and I've written about a lot of them on my blog, All About Fun and Games. However, recently I decided to start sharing them per video. I believe it'll allow me to share the games more in depth, as I'll be able to scan over the boxes and the pieces and even offer actual playthroughs. So please subscribe as I continue to share all games, both of yesteryears and of today. So let's get started with one just off my shelf. The King's Highway. It's a Parker Brothers game from the 1900s. I've written about the King's Highway on my blog, so let me just share what I wrote there. When I first saw the cover of the 1900 The King's Highway by Parker Brothers, I loved it. Cats dressed up as bandits, wearing masks, holding up a stagecoach grabbed my attention, as it did the royal victims, who were also cats with their hands up. The sign of to somewhere, to where, and to nowhere also caught my eye, as well as the horse with its head down, which seemed to be thinking, not again, these bad kitty cats. Recently, in an online board game group, there was a conversation about collecting board games for the beautiful and creative art. This was actually referring to new board games and not old ones, but I had to agree with the statement. The art of the covers and boards is definitely one of the reasons that make these old games so much fun to collect. The gameplay of old games is sometimes quite bland compared to today's games, but the art and the fact that themes often capture a point in history make up for it. When you lift the lid off the box, all that is inside is a spinner and game pieces. Although some obstacles are needed to overcome, it is a simple race game. The board is pasted to the bottom of the box itself. Again, however, that art inside is captivating too. Just not as much because now it's people in costume. What happened to the cats? Nonetheless, cats or people dressed up as bandits and robbing stagecoaches still shares a story about a time in history. The King's Highway game will take players back to when there were extreme dangers while traveling. A highwayman was a robber who would often wait off the side of the road and ambush a passing stagecoach or other lone travelers. They were most prevalent from the late 1600s to the late 1700s. It was not safe to travel in some areas. Horace Walpole, a well-known Englishman, wrote, "One is forced to travel, even at noon, as if one was going to battle." Eventually, highwaymen were reined in, and the last recorded highwayman robbery occurred in 1831. That's in England anyway. The roads of the Americas West were still a bit of a risk, but that is another part of history. Anyway, players each have 4 game pieces. The objective is to travel to the inn at the center of the board. The first player to do so with all 4 of his men wins the game. The obstacles in the game include the highwaymen. These are seen on various spaces of the board. Players cannot pass a highwayman unless there is already a player's game piece on that space with the highwayman, holding him captive and allowing for safe passage. Near the end of the game board is a space with 2 highwaymen. This indicates 2 players' pieces must occupy the space before any others can pass. To win the game, players must have an exact spin. Only a bit of strategy is used in the game by players, and that is adjusting plays so that their captures of the highwaymen benefits themselves more than their opponents. The art, history, and just the fact it is an old game makes it a wonderful addition to the game museum. So there was The King's Highway by Parker Brothers. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time here on All About Fun and Games.